Well, hey guys, it's been a long time since I made a video, and I figure I might as well do this while I'm doing it. I wanted to show people how they could do it. This is my 88 1200 Sportster. I've had this thing for 30 years now. I haven't ridden it in, maybe 4 or 5 years. I contemplated on selling it, and I'm glad I didn't. I cleaned her up, and I've been using it. So this started out as a 1200. It wasn't a conversion from an 883, and so I'll show it to you. I got her cleaned up. I did things that I wanted to do for a lot of years. Did a lot of polishing on it. Polished out the front forks. Took all the clear coat off the aluminum parts and polished them out. So that's pretty much it. So right now I'm into an electrical project with this thing. Anybody that has one of the older Harleys understands what I mean, and I'll turn on the key and I'll show you what I'm trying to do here. Okay, we got key on. These things really suck. They had momentary buttons for the blinkers, so if you hit the button, you can see the blinker, and it only goes on as long as you hold it. And same on this side. This side I got apart right now. But you know, you're working the throttle, you got your brake over here. It's a real pain in the ass to do it that way. And I think it was around 86 they had a latching type button in these things. So if you pressed it, it was a push on and it would stay on until you pushed it again. They do have modules that you can buy for these things. I looked at those. They really didn't do what I wanted to. You know, you'd hit the button and it would go on for maybe 7 seconds. You hold the button a little longer, it would go on for 15 seconds. And I think, you know, you held it a little longer, it would go on to 40 seconds or something like that. That just didn't fit the bill for me. Plus they were expensive. I seen them, you know, 90 bucks to 160 bucks. And they were big enough you had to mount them under the seat and do all kinds of wiring. So I went looking for a way to change this, and I ran across a switching relay that, you know, when it made contact it would be on, you hit it again it would turn it off. That should do what I need to do, but dummy me, I thought I could do it with one. And actually I need one for each side, so I had to order another one. I have one in stock, so I can get that one hooked up, but I'll get it you know, wired in there with some jumper wires and show you how this thing is. But it's not very expensive. I got them off of Amazon. They were, I think, around $8 a pop. So for 15 bucks you can get what you need. You just have to have confidence of, you know, doing some wiring and stuff, because everything is right in that headlight right there, and they're small enough that I can stuff 2 of those in there and still have room for the headlight. But you do have to cut into some wires, and I'll cover that as I go along. Alright guys, I have it temporarily hooked into the headlight unit here with jumper cables, just to show you how this works. So it's not hooked up to the turn signal switch yet. I have to cut some wires and put some jumpers in there. So let me just turn the key on. Okay, so I have it hooked up on the right side of the screen. It'll be the blinker we're using. So here's the unit right here. So okay, this is the activating wires right here. So when I tap them like that, you can see, okay, now I'm not even touching it, and it stays on as long as I want. And then when it touches it again, it turns off. These 2 wires will run up to the switch. So when you hit the switch once, it stays on. When you hit the switch a second time, it goes off. So let me take all this wiring apart, put this on the bench, and I'll show you what the unit is. Okay, I have the relay on the bench here to show it to you. So it's here, and I marked these because when I put it in the box I won't be able to see underneath, and that's where it's labeled plus and minus. So this would be my power in here, that would be my negative, positive. This is supposed to be another trigger single here. And supposedly you could put a negative single into this and trigger it. I think I would warn you not to do that, because from what I'm reading, the guys that did that actually had a problem, because I think somewhere in the circuitry it's dropping it from 12 volt down to 5, and over on this pin over here you will see a 5 volt rating. So I'm just using this here, which is, you know, the pigtail coming off, and just these two wires touch will be the trigger. Over on this side here, I'm going to turn this around so I can do this. This is where you have your common on the center, and then one side is going to be normally open and the other side is going to be normally closed. So I'm going for normally open, so common to normally open right there. So when you do turn the power off on the bike, it'll always go to an open position, and you turn the bike on, the blinker won't be going. So that's pretty much it. On Amazon it was listed as a self-locking switch trigger relay module, 1 button start stop, 12 volt. I'll put links into it when I do the video. So I don't know how well this thing's going to hold up, so I'm going to hold on to this video for a little while and get some miles on the bike, and take it from there. In the meantime, I do have a 3D printer. I know some guys do, some guys don't. And I printed a nice little box for this thing, and I can put this thing inside. I'm going to put a little bit of foam in there for vibration. I gave it a little bit of breathing room there, and I'm just going to tape the lid on it, and I'll see how well I can fit it in the bike. But I just wanted to warn you about that negative trigger that they talk about. There's no documentation that comes with this thing, but I had read that, you know, some guys tried to put a negative off of this to this and did something to the electronics. So I'm the guinea pig on this. So if it works, great. If it doesn't, well, then I lose. So, all right, guys. Okay, before I start cutting things in the housing, I want to show you what I have here and how I determine what is what needs to be you know, addressed on this system. So here you can see the turn signal for the left side. You look on the back side of this and you can see there's a green and a violet wire hooked up to that. That runs right through the handlebar right into the headlight assembly. So from there, I'm going to turn on my halogen light here. Okay, so now we're looking at the main harness right here. This, if you look where it comes out of the back of the housing here, you'll see those two colors. I followed that up to the block itself. So this is my violet right here that goes to the switch. That green is this wire right here. So I'm going to be cutting this wire right here. That'll be one leg of my switch, and then this green right here, that'll be the other leg of my switch. The green is common between the left and the right. So this one's going to get cut. The left side of this will be going to the relay. The right side, let's see. Yeah, this will be going to the single switch. The left side will be going to that little wire. And then this one here will be going to the normally opened position on the relay itself. Now for the right side, you don't have to take the whole assembly apart. This one I just took the housing off enough to get in there and look down and see the colors of the wires. Once again, I did see a green, but this one here, I'll have to come around and double check. It's step around all my lighting over here. This one here ended up being this brown wire. So that'll be my right hand system there. When I get the other relay, I'll hook that into it. So when I get done with this, I'll have one that is a push on, push off. The other one's momentary until I get the other switch. So that brings you up to date with that. Okay, I have all my wires finished up for this one side right now. Till I get the other unit, I won't finish those wires. But I have all the extensions out. I extended out 2 hot leads. I picked that up off of this block over here. That was a switched 12 volt. Ground I just picked off of the back of the headlight. Was the easiest place to pick up my ground. Over here on this block, this I guess they call that violet, I cut that wire there. That's this other end right here. So I cut it at the block. That one comes down and that goes into the end of the unit there. That's where the end block is, where it switches it. So that's that one. Off of the green here, off the bimetallic flasher, I just put an extension that comes down and that goes to the other block over here. This is the normally open side. Over on this side, I have my my negative and my positive power on that. And for the time being, because I'm making the box right now and I'll have to solder this single wire together, and this one ended up coming off right here. So if I just clip it with the alligator clip there, this is all set to go. So I'll just have to, you know, jam that box in there and make enough room, because I'm going to have one more on this side when I get the other unit. So I got the hand grip assembly and everything on this thing now. Let me just turn this light off here. Okay. So if we come over now and we put our switch on, we got our lights. This one here, that's still momentary until I get the other unit. So that one's there. Now this is the one I have the box hooked up to. So one hit and there it goes. I'm not touching nothing. So that'll stay on as long as I want it to. I mean, you got a indicator on the right on the dash cluster right here. You can see the thing, and you just press it on, press it off. It's going to make life easier. Now I'm just waiting on that other unit, which I was a dummy and forgot to order. I really thought I could do it with one, but I was dealing with 2 circuits there, so I blew it on that one. So I'll show you once I get the box made up and installed. Alright, I have the relay all encased in that box I made. I got that with some piece of foam in there, and I just taped the lid on it. Now I'm just going to shove it back in the corner of the headlight housing as deep as I can, and that should be that. And I'll get the headlight in and we'll check it out. Okay, got everything in the housing now, so we'll do a run through and test the unit out here. So right now we have the unit off. I'm going to go and I'm going to check the headlight first. So we got a headlight, we got running lights. We're in the on position right now. There's the one with the relay. It's doing its job. Hit it again, it's off. This one's still hooked to a momentary, so I can ride the bike. So that's that. Check it with headlights on. Got that one. And my other one should work. Also, there's that. Okay. And now to show you this normally on position, it flips back to an open position when power is released. So if I leave this thing on, turn the key off, put it back on, it automatically opens. Once you lose power to that relay, it goes to an open position, so it'll automatically shut it off. The other cool thing about this, once I get the other one hooked up, you're using the same bimetallic flasher for both units. So I have it in the on position right now, and I'll put this one on. Now, if I had the other one in there, if I hit that other button, if I hold this, you can see it turns it into a four-way, you know, flashing system. So you can turn that into a four-way. And once again, once it's shut off, everything goes back to an open position. So off, on, nothing. So that's it. You know, thanks to Harley, they don't offer that latching system anymore. So we have to come up with our own ideas. But I want to get some miles on this thing, test it out. I'm not going to show you the other side. I'm just going to go do that, get some miles on this thing, and check it out. It's not going to be thousands of miles, but it's an idea. It's the only way I can figure out if you want a true latching system deal without the module. So the cost was right. I'll give you the links for those relays. Sometimes they're available, sometimes they're not. There are other ones available as long as they have that pigtail off them and they're rated at 12 volt. They should also work. So we'll see how long this lasts, and you know, there's my idea. All right, take care, guys.